Good morning. There you are. It is Thursday, February the 29th. Yes, a leap day. Here's what we're working on this morning. Some tricky driving in possible areas because Hamilton and surrounding areas dealing with some snow squalls and difficult visibility due to some snow.
Hamilton Public Health and the Brant County Health Unit warn about possible exposure to measles.
I have better news for you. I'm leaving you in my will. I'm tweaking it.
And comedian Richard Lewis
don't do that. It's done.
has died at the age of 76. Well, happy Leap Day, Annette.
Yes, happy Leap Day. How are we going to let's spend this extra day with Steve Ruddick.
Yeah, because somebody else decided to take that Leap Day off,
Yes.
Mr. Brian Wood. Like some people might take that extra day off. Hey, Steve, how are you?
And I think it's a good idea maybe to stay at home with a cup of green tea or a coffee or something because
Yes.
Depending on where you are, there's a little bit of snow. There could be almost none, or there could be 2 or 3 or 5 centimeters of snow out there. So rather interesting today because we do have, again, some streamers happening, and we'll look at that in a little while in the weather. But now just checking the roads, looking at our conditions just outside, 6:01 a.m. and we are seeing traffic's moving along pretty good shape through the Aldershot area right now. Let's go down towards Niagara, and we will see that, again, there's not a lot of snow there, but it's still more or less snow covered. So again, it could be slippery out there, especially not necessarily on the main thoroughfares, but certainly in the smaller streets. And just look here, Ontario Street. So it is slippery. It's hard to see where the lines are. You just give yourself lots of extra time today. By the Skyway, Hamilton Burlington Skyway Bridge there, traffic's moving along in good shape, but still, again, things are slow because of the snow. But by the time you get to Guelph Line along the QEW, the roads are certainly a lot better out there, and up by the Fort Plant, much the same. As we look at 403 and King Road, again, they're damp, but no big problems out there. As we look 403 and Mavis Road, we're looking in pretty good shape. Up by Pearson Airport, nothing there right now. So again, depending on where you are, there's a little bit of snow. There's maybe 5 centimeters or so out there, especially coming down the hill from Ancaster, and we'll look into that in the next little while, and we'll check your weather as well. That's it for now.
Yeah, because it kind of affected some of our morning live team driving in this morning with a wall of snow. Looks a little bit better, as we saw on Steve's cameras there, but yeah, it has been a roller coaster ride of weather the past couple of days. First it was spring weather yesterday. Now we're dealing with the poor visibility and some blowing snow. Simone Gavros joins us from the live truck. Ooh, first time you're doing this, so with more on what the conditions are looking like out there right now, Simone.
Hi, Tim. Well, right now, as we're driving on the Highway 6 right here, we're headed onto the 403. The roads are still pretty snow covered from what we can see out here, and it's been like that for the morning that we've seen. As we've been driving in, as you mentioned, a lot of people were dealing with all this weather that we were seeing, this snow, and it's a big difference from what we saw compared to yesterday, where we had those spring-like temperatures, and now all of a sudden we're seeing all this blowing snow in the area. Now, right now, we're not seeing that blowing snow from where we are, but we do know that closer into the higher areas, like on the mountain, we might be seeing that more often. But right now, the drive is not too bad on the 403 that we're going towards Toronto. Cars are moving relatively at normal speed right now, and the roads seem to be okay here, but closer onto the Highway 6, that's where we were seeing a lot more snow up there. We did see some snow plows this morning heading out to come move all the snow out of the way, helping people on their morning commute today. So definitely take things slow, keep enough room in between the person in front of you to make sure that you are giving that space to ensure if you do have to brake, you do have enough time to do that. But it is going to be an interesting drive this morning as people head out and deal with these weather conditions. But it is February, so it's nothing that's out of the ordinary, especially for this month. So we'll be following that for you this morning. But for now, Annette, I'll send things over to you.
Okay, thanks very much. Another developing story we're watching, Hamilton Public Health and the Brant County Health Unit are warning about possible exposure to measles after a single confirmed case. Brant County Health Unit says the child caught the virus while traveling in Europe. They arrived home last Friday from London to Pearson International Airport. The child was brought to Brantford General Hospital the same day and then were transferred to the emergency room at McMaster Children's Hospital in Hamilton the next day. Brant County says they estimate about 200 people were exposed.
So measles is a very serious vaccine preventable disease that is transmitted by a respiratory virus, and it does transmit through the air. And so we're certainly concerned about people who would be sharing an airspace. This is a serious disease that can cause serious health issues and complications, including lung disease or pneumonia. It can cause neurologic complications and can be severe to require hospitalization and can result in mortality.
Hamilton Public Health is urging anyone who was at McMaster Children's Hospital last Saturday to watch for symptoms, including high fever and a rash.
And that leads into this story because a new poll from Angus Reid says there is a growing opposition from Canadian parents when it comes to vaccinating their kids. The poll shows that 1 in 6 parents are, quote, really against vaccinating their kids, which is 4 times more than what we saw back in 2019. 70% of Canadians are worried that the increasing number of those opposed to vaccines will lead to unnecessary illness in the population. The Canadian Pediatric Society says that vaccine misinformation has caused a lot of confusion and distrust. They say immunization is one of the most important health measures that we do have.
A tow truck company in Burlington is offering a reward after 3 of their rigs were set on fire. It happened early yesterday in their overflow yard near Walker's Line and Harvester Road. On their Facebook page, A Action Towing and Recovery says they're offering a $10,000 cash reward to anyone who provides information leading, quote, to the culprits or the company involved. This is day 5 of the cybersecurity outage within the city of Hamilton. Councillors were briefed during a closed-door meeting yesterday, and they postponed all other agenda items. The council spent about several hours discussing the details of the breach that impacted city-run services like digital communications and some services on the HSR. City officials have yet to explain the circumstances surrounding the cyber incident. Hamilton Mayor Andrea Horvath was asked what kind of sensitive information, if any, may have been accessed.
Oh, it's too premature at this point to talk about that. We're working with experts, as I said, to get as much information as we can get, as well as what's possible to provide publicly.
One of the topics put off until a later council meeting was a vote on whether to build 2 affordable housing projects on this parking lot in Stony Creek. Well, a team has created what they say is the world's fastest aerial drone, just so they can keep up with a lightning-fast race car. Red Bull commissioned the ultra-quick drone design from a team called the Dutch Drone Gods. They were looking for something that could keep up with their brand new race car. What they produced was a drone that can accelerate twice as fast as the car can and hit speeds of up to 350 kilometers an hour, more than enough to stay on the heels of driver Max Verstappen. The Formula One world champ says he's truly impressed with how well the drones kept up.
Let's get Luke one of those babies, huh?
Yeah.
For beauty shots in the morning? Really moving. All right, let's get to the sports line. Toronto Raptors trying for a season-high 4-game winning streak last night. Wouldn't be easy, though. Dallas was in town. They have one of the most exciting players in the league. His name is Luka Doncic, and he was coming off that heartbreaking last-second loss to Cleveland on Tuesday.
Brown trying to deal with Doncic. Here comes Pirtle. All that, and then that. Look at him smile.
He was smiling last night, though, because he was celebrating his 25th birthday. And he did it by showing why he's one of the best, dropping 30 points while adding 16 assists, 11 rebounds for a B-Day triple-double. His 11th triple-double of the season. The 136-125 Dallas win snaps the Raps' winning streak and kept Doncic ahead of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the scoring title. Emmanuel Quickley had a good game for the Raps. Team high 28, who now welcomes Steph Curry and the Warriors into town on Friday night.
30 seconds left in overtime. Here comes Connor McDavid. Right through the middle. Right in. He scores!
Connor McDavid ended his 10-game goalless drought by scoring the OT winner in Edmonton as they beat St. Louis for a second straight dub. And despite him not scoring in 10 games, he did have 23 assists over that time, and he added a couple more last night. on Zach Hyman's 2 goals, who now has 40 goals in the season before the start of March. That's something. Austin Matthews, he's got 52, and he takes that into the Leafs game tonight when they face Arizona.
Working along the boards, turnover chance, walking in front, Hughes, backhand, she scores!
Yeah, on the ice in Ottawa, Gabby Hughes scored the game winner, much to the delight of the hometown crowd, as Ottawa snapped a 2-game skid, beating New York 4-2 in PWHL action. So the win leapfrogs them over New York into 5th place, 4 points clear of a New York team. So the playoff format was announced yesterday for the league, and only the top 4 will make it, with Boston 2 points up on Ottawa with 11 games remaining.
From the opposite corner flag this time, it is Leon to take with plenty of bodies in the 6. Heidema went to the stick, but it finds Shalina Sidorsky instead.
To the Gold Cup from Houston, our Canadian ladies kept a good thing going from Group C. They would remain undefeated after beating Costa Rica already 1-0 when Shalina Sidorsky would head home. Not 1, but 2 goals for Canada in the 3-0 win, meaning they finished the round robin not allowing a goal and scoring 12 of them. So they're off to the quarterfinals, where they're going to face this same Costa Rican squad coming up on Saturday. Rivals from Tampa, Santiago Espinal getting set for another year with the Jays, playing third base, and he would drive in around as the Jays picked up a 2nd straight win, beating the Rays 3-2. So they moved to 2 wins, 3 losses in Grapefruit League play. Next up today is the Phillies rolling into Dunedin with Jose Barrios getting his first spring start.
Well, I'll tell you, we'll never confuse our local weather here with what's happening down in Florida. Let's have a look and see what's happening on the roads right now. 6:11. Now, depending on where you are, you may see a little bit of snow, you may see more than just a little, or you may see virtually none out there. Let's have a look at our cameras and see what's going on. So in the Toronto area right now, things are fairly calm, and we're not seeing anything. I don't even see any flurries right now. Up by Pearson Airport, everything's looking in good shape. 401 west of the 400, seeing no problems. 401 Allen Road, everything's dry. But you get down towards the Niagara area, and look at this, QEW Ontario Street. Why are we getting this? Well, we're getting some streamers. We'll check that out in a second. Moving through the Hamilton area, through the Skyway Bridge. Again, traffic's moving along in pretty good shape, but there are a couple of snow-covered lanes, which is slowing things down. And we're told that there's an accident at the 403 and the Link coming down from the Ancaster area. So be aware of that and avoid that area if you can. Up by the Ford plant, things look a little bit better. So it looks like Hamilton and Niagara are getting a little bit more of the snow flurry activity or the snow squall activity that we're having right now. So that's what we got on the go at 6:12 on your Thursday. So here are the snow squalls. Northerly flow of air coming, cold air over the warmer Great Lakes. This happens all the time. And most of them are directed at this point in towards the Hamilton and Niagara area. And there's some watches and alerts out there from Environment Canada. We'll get to that in a second. But high pressure is going to build in this afternoon. Skies will clear, snow will go away. And although it will remain cold today, as we get into tomorrow and over the next few days into, again, the start of the month of March, and into the next few days of March, we're looking for warmer air coming our way. So whatever snow we do get today will likely be gone by then. But there are some warnings out there from Environment Canada, St. Catharines, the Grimsby area. There could be some intense storms for short periods of time in small areas. Again, those streamers moving through the area for the next couple of hours, so be aware of that. Bruce Peninsula, Barrie, Ontario, Barrie and Orillia, and we're looking for, again, windy conditions up to 80 km/h gusts, so whatever snow falls will be flying around. Bruce could get up to 50 centimeters of snow. Barrie, Orillia, about 20 is possible with this in certain areas. So if you're heading in those areas today, watch that. Here's some temperatures outside right now. -7 in Hamilton, -5 in Grimsby, -7 in Mississauga, -6 in the Toronto area. As we look at our almanac today, sun will be up at 6:57, down at 6:08 p.m. Normal high should be around 1 degree, but we're going to be below that today, and we haven't had that happen too often. -3 the expected high, but feeling like -7 with 50 km/h gusts, but things will be clearing, so that is the good news. But for the drive to work today or wherever else you're going, first thing, take it slow, take it easy, give yourself lots of extra time. Let's look at things for now.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, it's going to take a short little break, our first one in the morning. When we come back, Atlantic Canada moving ahead on its second major renewable project, while Alberta says they want to make sure things like wind farms are not blocking their view. Business news in 2. Coming up on 6:17 on your Thursday, Leap Day. Here's some numbers for you. Canadian dollar is down 7 basis points this morning, 73.59 cents U.S. Gold down almost $4, 20.3890 an ounce. Crude oil down 3 pennies, 78.51 a barrel. Off to Europe we go. Hey, Europe. Markets are up in London and Frankfurt, still about the same in Paris.
In Asia, markets were down today in Tokyo and Hong Kong, but were up in Shanghai. Checking North American markets, the TSX dropped 75 points, the Dow was up 23, and the Nasdaq dropped 88.
Well, happy Leap Day. Hope you're going to be doing something meaningful on this Thursday. Let's get into some business news for you, and we're going to start with the federal government because they have agreed to lend millions of dollars to a second green hydrogen project in Atlantic Canada. So the federal Liberals and World Energy GH2 say they have reached an agreement for a $128 million facility in Newfoundland. So it'll come in the form of a business loan similar to a line of credit. The loan comes about 2 months after a similar agreement to provide $166 million to Everwind Fuels in Nova Scotia. Both projects are trying to stake a claim as Canada's most advanced green hydrogen plant, though neither has an in-service date on the table as of yet.
The Alberta government has just announced new rules around wind and solar development in that province. It comes after a 7-month pause on renewable projects wraps up. So these rules include a ban on new wind projects within 35-kilometer buffer zones around protected areas and other areas that are designated by the province as pristine viewscapes. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith says the changes reflect a view by many in her province who don't want large-scale developments to interfere with our province's most beautiful natural features.
A hearing panel has upheld 2 orders against an Alberta company that had thousands of inactive oil and gas wells seized last year. So in September, the Alberta Energy Regulator transferred control of more than 6,000 wells, pipeline segments, and other facilities to the Orphan Well Association. The order came after the regulator said Alpha Bow Energy failed to demonstrate reasonable care at their well sites. That includes not disclosing a leak in October of 2022 and then failing to complete remediation plans by February of last year. The company appealed the seizure, but a hearing panel, they found the regulator acted appropriately.
Chrysler is recalling over 18,000 Jeep Grand Cherokees in Canada. The recall involves some of the 2021 to 23 Grand Cherokee and Grand Cherokee L models. It also applies to over 338,000 vehicles in the United States. So some of these models have a damaged pinch bolt, and that could result in a loss of steering and vehicle control. Chrysler says it's not aware of any related injuries or crashes, but it is urging customers to follow the instructions if they get a recall notice.
Multiple media outlets, they're reporting that Apple has abandoned a decade-long effort to build a self-driving electric car. Bloomberg reports many employees working on the project will be moved to the company's artificial intelligence division. EVs and their sales have been disappointing in the U.S., prompting several major manufacturers just to pull back on investments. Apple never confirmed long-running speculation that would make an EV, but it had taken steps over the past 10 years suggesting it was serious about its car efforts. Apple has not publicly commented on reports that it's pulling the plug on the project.
Okay, we're going to take a break right now. We're going to refuel with more caffeine. Steve is going to be back with traffic and your 7-day forecast. Going to be a tough ride in this morning.
Yeah, and what to wear over the next 7.
Welcome back to Morning Live. It's Thursday. It's the last day of February. Leap Day, actually. 6:23 on your Thursday morning, and no surprises here. We do have a little bit of snow on the ground, and especially in the Niagara and the Hamilton area, it seems. This seems to be where the concentration of the snow is. So just looking at Niagara Street here, again, there's streamers. So this is what's happening. Short bursts, very narrow bands of snow coming off of the Great Lakes, and Niagara's getting one of them here. As we do report an accident to QEW Toronto bound 7th Street in St. Catharines, so one right lane is blocked, so just be careful of that. As you get up into the Hamilton area, traffic's moving slowly eastbound, which is going away from us here, but the roads are at best, wet, and then some snow-covered conditions out there. But as you get closer into the Mississauga area, there's less and less of the amount of snow, and up by Pearson Airport, seeing no major problems out there at all. So again, depending on where you are, conditions change, so just be aware of that, especially on higher elevations like Hamilton Mountain along the link. It's going to be a little bit on the slow side, so just take it easy out there. 6:24 on your Thursday. So what have we got on the go? Streamers happening off the Great Lakes. No surprise right here. Hamilton and Niagara seem to be getting most of them, and then east of Toronto as well. So if you're heading in that direction, you can expect things to happen. However, conditions are going to improve as we get into the afternoon, and skies will clear thanks to high pressure. And then starting tomorrow, we're going to notice some warmer than normal conditions out there. Back to that again, of course, and right through the weekend into next week by the looks of things. And again, some rain coming. So whatever snow we are getting, likely is not going to be around too long. Day planner looks like this. Temperatures only getting up to about -3, -4, which is 3 or 4 degrees below what they should be for this time of year. But we've been well above them for the most part. But clearing skies as the day goes along. So that's the good news. And just looking ahead now, your evening commute should be under a lot better conditions than the drive to work today. Temperatures still, though, a little on the cooler side. And the extended forecast shows that we've got one day here, a couple of centimeters or a little bit more, depending on where you are. This warm up here starts Friday, goes into the weekend and into next week. Look, we could have double-digit temperatures again. So the up and down things continue. And we'll update everything for you in the next few minutes. That's it for now.
All right, thanks, Steve. Annette, have you ever participated in a jet suit race?
No, but it looks like great fun.
Well, let's go to Dubai. They played host to what it says is the world's first ever jet suit race. That's why you haven't.
Wouldn't that be awesome? So pilots wearing these 1,500 horsepower jet suits zipped along a race route with skyscrapers looming behind them. So these suits are more powerful than most sports cars, and they can run on jet fuel, diesel, or biofuel. They can reach speeds over 120 an hour and can fly across most terrains. Jet suit developer Gravity Industries partnered with the Dubai Sports Council for this event. The company says it's the closest you can get to watching a Marvel movie in real life. Totally love to do that.
Man, I've done one of those things where you put the pack on your feet in the water.
And the water shoots you up.
And the water shoots you up, and it always feels like you're just like so high. And then we've done it for TV, and then you see yourself, you're just like
not that, you're a little speck.
Yeah, just a little speck. Anyways.
That would be fun.
Okay, your drive might not be all that fun, depending on where you are. It's a tricky one today, and it's a cold one.
Yeah, I don't think a jetpack would work. A jet suit.
Maybe.
No.